Quick Quotes has recently released the Quick Quote bundles. There are 6 different themes in these bundles. The themes include family, inspire, sentiments, holiday, wedding, and travel. And each one of these bundles are packed full of wonderful things that you can use on your cards and scrapbook layouts. Here's an example of the family one. It has quotes that are on cardstock, some labels, journal spots, more labels, and then they also have these beautiful vellum quotes that are printed in color that look great on anything. I used a quote from the family bundle that was similar to this one with this coloring, and then I used the journal spot from the Inspire bundle. And I'm going to show you how to attach the vellum quote onto your project. I know sometimes with vellum it can be tricky because you don't want it to show through with your adhesive. So I'm going to show you a unique way to do it, and you won't see any adhesive because I'm not going to use adhesive. And here's the layout I'm working on. It's not quite complete. I've got most of the elements in place that I want. Over on this side, I have the journal spot that I took from the Inspire bundle. This is the stowaway line from Quick Quotes. I love the blues and the browns. It works with almost any theme that you would want to use it on. If you notice, I did some stitching detail on different spots on my layout because that is what I'm going to use to stitch my quote on. This is the quote I've chosen to use. Cherished memories of my family will be tucked away in my heart forever. I use a mouse pad that I've turned upside down. It works perfectly for this kind of thing. I've got cardstock that I have already inked in the Java, one of Quick Quote's new colors. Love it. And then I have the quote, and I'm going to line that up on top so that cardstock is exactly the size I need for the quote. And then I have a piece of coordinating cardstock. I've inked the edges with the Java, and I'm going to lay that right across there because I am going to use that as the place where I'm going to sew this all together. Yeah. I have everything lined up, the cardstock, the vellum quote, and then I have another piece of coordinating cardstock across the top. Everything's lined up exactly the way I want it. I want to make sure it is before I start poking holes. Otherwise, once I sew it together, things could be crooked. All I am going to do is I am going to poke a hole where that first stitch is going to come up, and then I'm going to poke another hole where the next stitch is going to go down. And then as I'm doing this, I'm kind of keeping count so I know that I'm going to end with the right amount of holes. So stitch up, stitch down. As you can tell, I am not taking a lot of time to make it perfect. I don't need an exact line. I kind of like the hand sewn look of it, so I don't want it perfect. So I've got another stitch up, stitch down, stitch up, stitch down, and I'm going to do a stitch up and a stitch down, and I'm going to end it there. Now, to get started, I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to take my needle through that first hole, and if things are a little off when you flip it, it's not a big deal because you can line it back up again. And I want to pull it through. It's a little hard to get it started. I'm going to pull that through so that I only have a little piece left at the end. And I'm going to take some Scotch tape and I'm going to tape that down so I don't lose my end. And I'm going to come straight up with it. I'm trying to do this so you can see it. And yes, it is a little hard to pull through. There's a lot of layers there, and I'm going to stitch right back down. Now that I'm at the end, I'm going to pull the string all the way through, and on the back side I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take another piece of my Scotch tape and I'm going to tape it down, and then I'm going to take the scissors and cut it off. So now I have my quote mounted on the cardstock. It's secure, so it's not going to go anywhere, and I've included the stitching that I have on the other parts of my layout so that it all ties in together. Now what I want to do is take my layout and I want to put it down in the spot where I have left for it. And to do this, now that it's on cardstock on the back, I can take some adhesive and quickly add the adhesive to the back of the cardstock. And I can put it right on my layout. I have a few finishing touches I want to do. I'm going to put a little brown piece here and I'm going to do a little stitching on that, and I will show you the layout when it's all done. And here is my final layout. As you can see, I tucked a flower up here, and I also stitched a little border down here. This border is going to help keep this from, moving around. It kind of keeps it a little more secure. I added my journaling and my layout is complete.